Hey everybody, so we're going to be talking about systems of linear inequalities, and we've done linear inequalities here before, but in this one, what you're going to do is you're going to have a system, meaning that you're going to have two or more linear inequalities of the same variables. The solution for this is going to be similar to what we were doing with linear inequalities when we were graphing it, but this time the entire solution is going to be one that is included in the overlap of all of this. So let me make that bigger. So what we're going to talk about is the systems, and we're just going to graph them. And it's going to be very simple if you remember how we did it last time. So you should be good to go. All right, so your first step is going to be to graph each of these inequalities in the same plane. So I'm going to be using two different colors to do this. And I'm going to use green for this first one. So we've got y is less than 1 over 2x plus 2. Let's go over your linear inequalities and just graphing. So first, you've got your b value, which is the y-intercept at 2. You've got your slope of 1/2, which means you're going to go up 1 and always to the right 2. And then this symbol right here, remember, that's a less than symbol. So with that less than symbol, A, we know that it's going to be an open circle. When we graph this y-intercept here at 2, then you're going to have a dashed line. And because it's less than, we're going to be shading below. So we went up 1 to the right 2. And I like to just kind of keep the pattern going because it's easier for me to draw my dashed lines. And we've drawn our dashed lines now. And it says we're going to shade below. So everything right here, and if you're not using color, you can just do this where 1 goes up and down, and then the next set of inequalities, we're going to go left and right. All right, now let's go ahead and graph the next one. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll do purple. Nothing too crazy. All right, so this one right here, we've got y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 5. So your b value for this is 5. Your slope is negative 2, which means you're going to go down 2 and always to the right 1. This is a greater than or equal to, which means you're going to have a closed circle, solid line, and it's going to be shaded above. So now let's go ahead and graph it. We've got our y-intercept of 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to do a closed circle. And then down 2 to the right 1. Down 2 to the right 1. Solid line. And we're shading above. So again, if you are not using two different colors, I'm going to recommend that you shade this way. And that way you kind of get a crosshatch-ish area right up in this area where they overlap. This overlap is where all of your solutions are going to be. So a point in the shaded region that is a solution is going to be anything here or here or here or here. So those were all solutions. So for example, we've got 3, 2. That would be a solution. 3, negative 1. Because it's still in the green part and it's on a solid line, then it would be still a solution. A non-solution for this one would be, for example, any point here where there isn't an overlap. So 2, 5 would not be a solution. Any point out here not a solution. Over here, not a solution. If it's an open circle and it's overlapping, right here, not a solution. So even though we have overlap here, this part is not a solution because there's still a gap there. It would make it untrue for this first equation, which is why it cannot work. So that point right there was 4 and 4. And this one, it's just a little bit harder, but all it is that you've got 3. A system doesn't necessarily mean you're just doing 2. You can have 3. You can have more than 3. You can have 4, 5, 6. It gets a little crazy after that, but you can still do it. So I'm going to start off with brown here. Y is less than or equal to 5. That's going to be a solid line, closed circle, and it's a horizontal line. That goes with HOI, or it's horizontal, 0 slope, and it starts with y equals. So y is less than or equal to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because it's less than or equal to, it's going to be shaded below, which means you're going to be shaded right down here. Now I'm going to go ahead and actually use the highlighter so it's a little bit easier for us to see on here. All right, the next one that we're going to do is x is less than or equal to 4. And this one's going to be a dashed line and open circles. And you know that it's going to be a horizontal line because this goes with bucks. Vertical, undefined, and it starts with x equals. So we go at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open circle. You're going to have a dashed line all the way up and down. Now, usually we talk about shaded below and above, but when you have it as a undefined line, the arrow is telling you point there, shade here. So all of that is going to get shaded in with our blue. And I'm going to go this way. So we've already got a big overlap with our current system, but we've got one more equation to graph. And this one is a diagonal because it's a linear function right here. So you've got your y-intercept of 2 and your slope of negative 2, meaning you're going to go down 2 and to the right 1. You're going to be using closed circles since it's an equal to right there. And it's going to be solid line, and it's above since it is a greater than. So let's go ahead and graph our line. We're going to start at 2. Then we go down 2 to the right 1. And again, like I told you, I like to keep that pattern going just so it helps me draw my straight line. As straight as we can possibly make. And then it says it's shaded above. So I'm going to take my marker color, whatever you guys want to use on yours. And we're going to shade it here. And you see right here where there's this kind of gross color happening right here? This is where your solutions are. Everywhere else is not yours. This is your kingdom. Anything that you put into these shaded areas and on these solid lines are solutions, as long as they are covered by all 3 colors. Those are all the notes I have for you, just because you guys already know all this. I do want you to come in when I see you next, and I want you to have letter A done. Come with 2 solutions and 2 non-solutions. You will have a question like this on your final exam. So I do want you to be ready for it. All right. Thank you and have a great day.